Disclaimer. This video, like all videos featured on this channel, is definitely intended for mature audiences. This video is likely to contain profane language. Content is inappropriate for minors. Video is not for kids.
Welcome to the Dr. Greenthumb Show. Lord of mercy.
Ah, yes, the help is needed. And we are here to help you on the Dr. Greenthumb Show, right here live on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, and the home site, www.brealtvcontest. What it be like, y'all? We got a very special guest up in here today with us, Master Bar Spitter, Qveen Herby up in here.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Yes, glad to have you here.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got Mr. Eric Big Drum Bobo, the iconic one, in here.
What the deal, buddy?
We got the Treehouse crew, Bolton, Blombo, Bra Bra, and the Dominator.
Yo, what up, B? How are you today?
I'm good.
Nice.
We have the Utility Man, Trace Nunes, a.k.a. Sweet Tooth. Excuse me, Trace Nunes, a.k.a. Sweet Tooth. And we got Mr. Milligram, Z-Zone, up in here.
You just keep changing your name every week.
Yeah.
Well, we're under the impression, because we know some people in the country that, Trace has got his name backwards, right? Like he was trying to tell us that it's pronounced Nunes.
The correct pronunciation.
The correct. He can't even.
You're getting me so flustered. The correct pronunciation in Portuguese. So you're telling me you went out and found somebody that was Portuguese, and then you asked
We
them?
called someone in Brazil.
See, but it's two different
No,
dialects.
it's not.
It is.
No, it is not.
Portugal and Brazil's dialect are two different styles.
Do you not know that the Brazilian language is Portuguese? It's not
No,
Brazilianese.
No, but Trace does have a point with the whole dialect being like fools from Portuguese look at fools that from Brazil way differently, like
yes.
the way they
Look,
speak. and the
let me say this to you. We are some of us that are half Mexican here, Chicanos, or our parents were born in Mexico, but we were born here with Chicanos, right? Our Spanish is not the same as theirs. They have different slang, the whole shit, but the derivative is the same. The base is the same. There might be different pronunciations, but I've never heard someone with N-U-N-E-S pronounced as Nunes.
Oh, yeah.
So we went out of our way to ask two people that are, Portuguese background or Brazilian background, and we asked, how would you say this name?
No doubt. I'm
Nunes.
not defending it. I'm just saying that he does have a point with the difference. With the
There's also a UFC fighter with your name, Amanda Nunes.
She's doing that. It's very an Americanized name. I'm telling you, I'm going to
She
bring
lives in Brazil.
I'm going to bring a 90-year-old lady from the Azore Islands in
Oh
here.
my
and she's
God!
going to tell you.
From the Azore, you're gonna bring a 90-year-old lady from the Azore Islands up in
You
here.
gonna fly her in?
There's like enough smoke here. She might OD, bro. Like they're not used to that kind of stuff.
No.
Anyways, we'll get to that later.
Just to confuse you more, my government last name is Noonan,
Noonan.
which I guess used to be Irish. It used to be O'Noonan. So they
O'Noonan.
also Americanized it by shaving off the O.
I think he Americanized it. Is what I'm saying.
It's your fault.
It's his fault.
These guys been drinking all day today.
Oh,
Coffee, yes. I am fucking.
I just
amped.
got here. I didn't realize.
Yeah, man, you guys were drinking. That's
No, I was not. He's eggs right there. That's Mr. Exaggeration. Hey, I want to say it's good to have you here. I came across, your bars on IG, right?
Crazy. You see what can happen, kids?
And there was a couple of pieces that you put out there where you were flipping it. Like I think it was a cappella, and some of them had instrumentals on it too.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this woman can spit right here. And then we started listening to some of the music aside from that, and like you got bangers out there.
Thank you. This is a surreal moment for me because, you're a freaking legend. I really appreciate that.
I thank you for that. But I got to tell you, like, from the bars you spit, the style, the cadence, the flow, ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. And
trying to integrate that, like that, thank you.
Who were some of the people that like inspired you to even, start writing and because you also sing too, right?
Yes.
Which
funny, I started with the singing.
You started with the singing first.
And I grew up in Nebraska, so they didn't have a huge hip hop culture there. So the only rap features I heard in my Christian household was features on like Brandy,
right,
or features on R&B records. So I grew up wanting to be Brandy. Like I was like, I just want to be like 112, Brian McKnight, like Whitney Houston was huge for me. And I would hear like the Jay-Z feature, the Mace feature, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But it wasn't until one of my boyfriends in like middle school gave me a burned CD of Chronic 2001. And I was like,
you wrote it on there and stuff?
Yeah, it was like all cursive or some shit. And I was like, what are bitches and hoes and how do I get involved? It was like, I didn't know what to do at that time. I didn't even know the culture. So it took years and years until ended up at music school in Boston and graduated during a weird recession where YouTube was the only option,
right?
Even for music people. And blew up on YouTube with the Busta Rhymes cover.
And you killed that.
How'd your parents react to it? Like, did they find out before? Like, because they're like, we never heard you say bitches and hoes before. Like,
yeah.
like,
where is this coming from?
It was, babe. It was like so much healing I had to do around parental acceptance and like their expectations of me. Like, I kind of threw all that out the window, and I realized like how much that impacts you, like how your family looks at you. It wasn't okay for them. They were like, we can't support you, really?
That was culture shock for them.
Right.
You feel like the Asian kids, like, we want you to go to dental school, not comedy.
Period.
What did they want you to do? What was there?
Christian music.
Christian music.
Yeah. So that's why I took all the curse words out. One of the reasons, I thought it was appropriate to do so, but
that's a compromise for them.
It was.
That's
it was.
Because I couldn't even tell that.
Amazing.
The bars were so dope that you don't. Like she didn't curse.
That's not a good medium, though. Like it's not a good like middle way to me, because she's like, I got hyped on listening to like the full explicit stuff, and that's what got her juiced or made her want to get like more on that. And like when you're like limited and you're just like, all right, yeah, I could fly here, but only as far as that bar is up there. Because I mean, not for nothing, I'm not knocking the Christian music and stuff like that, but there's a lot of limitations, bro, and it's just like
I agree with that. And some of the things you could say, but it's not just expletives. It's like certain content that's hard with the Christian stuff. But like what I'm saying is that, with you not putting any curses in the bars, it doesn't like lessen it. It's not like something that's missing, because the bars are so dope that you don't even notice that there's not a curse word up in there.
I love that.
And that's the key to me,
yes.
I think.
I rode that bus for 7 years, and then I was like, oh, fuck this. I really like saying fuck. I really like saying pussy. I really want to do, like, I want to just see what would my expression feel like. Because now I had 7 years under my belt of, like, talking to Q-Tip and Kanye and, like, getting to study the history of the genre, and, like, I was like, no, the real me like wants to speak freely. So Qveen Herby, eventually Carmen, which was the original iteration of my artistry, became Qveen Herby, and she's much more free.
And how did you come up with that name?
Qveen Herby?
Yes.
So Herbie is the mascot of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Do you know college football?
Yeah.
So my uncle, shout out to Uncle Dave, he played back in the 90s when they were winning all the things.
Salute, Uncle Dave.
Salute, Uncle Dave. Shout out. I love him so much. And I would basically sing for my family during halftime, because everybody just loves football and Jesus. Like, that's all we got. We got steak, too.
Yeah.
But
there's some good steakhouses down there.
It's really good. Man, so it was Herbie. And then I just wanted to go by Herbie, because I also found out it means warrior. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I feel like a little bit of a warrior. I kind of like broke out of this very narrow-minded life and explored who I was, and I'm continuing to do so. But it was like my agent at the time was like, you need to add another word to it, like queen. And I was like, do you think I'm a queen, sir? Nobody had ever treated me with that much reverence, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So I added queen.
It's appropriate.
Thank you.
Appropriate. You know what I mean? I think that was definitely a great suggestion on his behalf, and the fact that you embraced it, all good, because it just ties into everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And it's like, can be, well, maybe no. For you, was it instant when you started creating your art? Were you just like, you totally free? Like, have you never felt held back by any of those programs? Or
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really necessarily caring about like the rules at that point. We were very punk rock at the same time. Like, fuck the rules. We're just gonna do us, and if you like us, great. If you don't, cool.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do us.
Whew.
And fortunately, that worked. But it was the fact that we didn't have any handcuffs on us. I think if we allowed someone else with a slightly different vision than what Muggs had and myself and Sendog had initially when we started making the first stuff, it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been Muggs's vision, and that's not something that would have, we wouldn't have allowed that, because we were all very much the three of us and fuck everybody else.
Whew.
Right? Because some people go through this in the world of becoming an artist, right? Whether you're a solo artist or a group, there are going to be people that support you and try to nurture the dream and like push you forward through the good times and hard times, right? And those are the people you wish you could have around all the time if you had a support system like that. And then there's other people that are, smiling in your face, but behind your back telling everybody they're not going to do shit.
Preach.
You know what I mean? And you have to deal with that right there,
Did you know about all this when you started?
We were encountering a little bit of it all, because on one end we had Sendog's mother, who was one of our biggest support systems. She was always praying for us. She didn't necessarily agree what we were talking about, because she was very Christian, like very Christian. So all the weed shit she had to overlook, and some of the some of the street content.
Yeah.
She tried to overlook and understand, but was still, helping us and trying to push us in a positive direction and give us, like that pat in the back, like, hey, what you're doing is worth the time. You keep at it. I wish you wouldn't talk about this or that, but better this than what you guys were doing before. And then we had other people. You need to go get a job. You need to go get a job. This ain't going to work out for you. You think you're going to do as good as Run DMC or the Beastie Boys or any of those? I mean, think about that. And, to those people, we were like, fuck out of here.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you had that. You had both sides of the coin.
Yeah. And it's going to be that way. You just have to kind of be aware of it sometimes, because you're just in the moments trying to do the thing. You don't notice any of that shit.
Absolutely.
Until someone brings it to your attention.
Were you always that kind of rebellious kid growing up? It sounds like you grew up in like Lincoln, Nebraska.
So close.
Okay.
Did you Google me?
No, because you said about the football team, and Cypress just performed up there, and we actually walked across. Remember, Bobo, when we did the tour over at the football stadium?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So it sounded like you grew up in that area. Were you like a rebellious kid up there in Nebraska? Because it's kind of conservative up there.
Guys, I was the goodiest goody girl you ever met, which is why this embodiment of me now is so shocking
to your family.
I think so.
Yeah.
Are they still pissed?
A little. I think so.
Yeah.
We've definitely like smoothed it over, and I got a therapist.
Christmas
I was like, what do I do?
I would imagine when they've seen some of the videos where like it's a little bit sexy.
Yes.
And they're probably looking at that like, what?
But see, let's talk about that as well. Like we were watching some videos earlier, and we were talking about the sexiness it's not overdone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's about it. It's actually
tasteful.
Kind of tasteful, super modelish, very fashionable.
Yeah.
Where it's not, I use the term ratchet. It's
like
not,
a lot of this shit you see today.
But to a conservative home, that shit's still like...
Yes.
Period.
Yeah,
that part.
They still got that mentality from like 1940s. It's like you can't show your leg.
Hey, listen, you could put it place those videos in front of a Christian family, they're going to be both offended by both of them, but offended by this one a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Because of the ratchetness. They're not going to agree with either of it.
Right.
One, they're going to hate more than the other.
Yeah. And I think, I started to understand maybe it's the energy too, right? It's like I'm out here like, be authentic, be you, like fuck everybody, live your dream. Like, what do you want out of life? Don't follow the regular path. Like, it's the very pioneer, like you were saying, punk.
Yeah.
I was at Lollapalooza a couple weeks ago, it was so mind-blowing, but I was like, oh, I think I'm like a punk energy in general. Like, even my socks are like,
yeah,
I was peeping that.
I just like feel, and like these glasses, like I look like the bad guy. Like you said, I look like Coraline right when I walked in. It's like, this is my highest self.
You could do a villain character for sure if you want.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I was always cast as the villain.
Do you remember like the first rhyme that you wrote as far as this new persona of you?
Yes, it's a song called Gucci. So I could pull it up at some point, but it was just me talking about like all the things I wanted to say. Like, I want you to buy me expensive shit. I deserve it. Bury me in Gucci. And there were these beautiful background vocals, so all the R&B popped out. The first song I ever created as Qveen Herby was called Gucci.
Okay.
And it was after going to the Gucci store for the first time and walking around like, no, I could buy shit.
Which one
like,
did you go to?
The one on Rodeo.
Oh, damn, that's the one out here.
That is the one.
So it was like a self-worth like explosion that gave birth to. Thank you. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that opened up everything else for you at that point.
Yeah. And then it was a journey of like, do I really want bitches and money and cars and fashion? Even fashion today, I'm like a little less, I care less about like the name and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I got real spiritual, y'all.
I heard.
Whoa.
And that's good.
It's probably this too. This is medicine.
Yes, it is
right?
medicine. It's healing.
It has been the greatest, most successful form of therapy for me.
And is that something new for you?
No, this has been
How long you been smoking?
Yeah, did you smoke in Nebraska?
almost like 2 decades now.
That
No,
must have hurt their feelings too when they heard you smoked weed.
probably
Hurt their feelings.
But I think sometimes they're curious too, because
Yeah.
also now I'm like, what are therapeutic mushrooms? What do they do? People are getting more curious, and it's being legalized very slowly.
I think some are more open-minded these days than they used to be because
Yeah.
they know that it is a medicine. Some of these things are, helping people.
Yep.
With the mushrooms, we talk about it a lot here that it helps people with depression and anger issues and other things. Like it's helping people connect dots in different ways.
You also got to take into account there's a lot more hurt people out there that
Yes.
time higher than there was before. So like it's more susceptible for people to be like, I want to try something because everybody's trying to escape from something.
Yes.
So some people are like, ketamine changing my life, mushrooms changing
Yes.
my life, all this shit. Believe me, I've tried all of them. They all did a little something, but none of them was the fix. So you got to work with it.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. I think
Yeah.
that's what I always say, because they're like, oh, are you like just a stoner? I'm like, yeah, but you don't need to be a stoner to enjoy my music. You don't need to even, it's not everybody responds the same. I think they're still figuring out like the cannabinoid receptors. It's interesting.
Yeah. I think when people are smokers, it helps them enjoy the music more. I think, they're in a certain state to receive it different, you know what I mean? So I think that like with the stoner culture, it goes hand in hand like that. And other people that don't necessarily smoke, they're not going to have that experience, but they're going to enjoy the music from the vibe that it is.
Yes, true.
And it's always a cool combination to see that because, I mean, when you do make stoner music, right, people assume that only stoners are coming to the show.
Yeah.
And it's much more than that because more, like I said, people are more open-minded to cannabis and to mushrooms and the different things now. Like we've asked most guests that come on here, what's their favorite cannabis, or do they smoke? Or obviously, if they pick up a joint, they smoke. But one thing we ask them is, do you do mushrooms? Microdose or macro or the melt?
Yeah.
And most people, that have come as of late have answered, yeah, we've microdose. Because it's like, it puts them in a positive state where they're realizing things they might not have been too distracted to have put together. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
So we know that it's helping. We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And I know that they're doing an event in October. Some folks out here that are like trying to get people more involved in educating people about mushrooms and how it helps in these certain areas, and
great.
trying to get it legalized.
Yeah.
Like the way that we created that movement for cannabis, we're trying to do that shit with mushrooms because they should be legal.
Yeah, it should hopefully a little faster
Yeah.
this round.
But people should be responsible with
Yes.
them because you can, overdo it.
And that's with anything.
Right, Bobo?
And we're
Yeah.
marijuana.
Hold up, let Bobo.
Well, look, to all my melting people out there, sometimes you want to feel the melt, more power to you, you know what I mean? But do it everything in a controlled way, I think,
With the right people.
with the right people,
Just
right,
right
vibes and everything like
Right
that.
vibes, yes.
So even if you do go to the melt, you'll be all right,
Yeah. If you're with the right people in the
They'll
right
help you.
state of the mind,
They'll help you.
the melt will be good. If you're, any issues of any sort, do not go into the melt.
Do not take a hero's dose.
Yeah, unless you got like a shaman or
Right,
a
a
therapist
guide.
with you that's going to guide you because you're going to go through some things.
Yeah, like you said, it needs to be legal for like people to have right dosages on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Well, yes.
that's how I got turned off from it. Like I'm like, all right, bro, I took too much to the point where, and I used to take them a lot, but it's just like, all right, bro, I don't even want to fucking swim in these waters no more.
But you were trying to go for limits, though. You was trying to go.
Yeah.
No, I was trying like that, like with the mushrooms. I never, because I never liked losing control. So I was just having a good time. So I just kept eating them, and then eventually it all hit, and I just had like nothing crazy, but just a time that was not enjoyable for me, bro. And like to the point where I got turned off from it, like where I now gravitate towards recreational activities that are already measured, like the ketamine lollipops or the acid spray, where it's like 10 sprays is one dose and it's measured. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's
like some of these things, they are measured, like the chocolate bars that we have. But
I feel
got
sometimes
turned
you
off.
look at the measurements and you just laugh and go for broke, and this is what happens to you.
well, because most of these things, they've been like able. It's like once you're able to handle it, you're like, I got this. I know how to ride the water.
You're missing my point here, though. Like you'll build tolerance and then try to go past that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with everything, bro. Like that's
What?
not-
Everything I've ever known you to do.
You kind of did that with the RSO.
You did that with the RSO, knocked yourself out. You did it with the fucking psychedelics, smashed your face.
And it's easy to do this.
Yeah,
it's
is.
easy.
I mean, we've all done this.
You gotta
we've
build
all
the
done this.
tolerance, dude.
Yeah, see, but that's the problem is you're trying to build up a tolerance. Like if I'm looking for an experience, right? If I'm microdosing to like feel good and connect dots, cool. But if I'm going into the melt, it's for something specific, and I'm not
Yeah.
going into the melt all the time. So I'm not trying to build up tolerance so that I don't have to do so much to get to the melt.
What does this building up tolerance thing come from? That feels like a very masculine thing. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's like a challenge.
girl.
It's a challenge.
I want to do more.
It's a
like,
challenge for no reason.
it costs too much money to be going that far every time. Like,
It's a matter of like being afraid
I
to
could
like
party
Mastery.
harder than
well, like no, for me it's like a matter of not like losing control and not knowing what I'm doing.
yes.
So it's like for me, it's like I'll build a tolerance for something. That way, it's like, all right, bro, I know how to swim in these waters, bro. It's cool.
okay. It's a conquering.
Yes, it's like a whole thing where it's just like, hey, bro, I gotta know how to get my function this shit because
Yes.
half the times I'm either like doing something with people saying like, hey, bro, you're the one we look up to see how shit's gonna run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or in that sense, like for me, that's where that comes from.
Interesting.
I don't like to do things where I don't
know them
I do-
fully.
Yeah, like or I
deeply.
don't feel like in control no more. Like
Yeah.
hence the reason I don't do Molly. It wasn't it for me.
I could see building the tolerance on the weed because we smoke it all day, every day, right? This is just, and it's healing us at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is what this plant does. So we've built tolerance. We could smoke all day and, we'll feel high, but it ain't like we're out of our minds, right?
Yes.
But the other shit is not meant for you to build tolerance to. Except with the exception of like the RSO, because for cancer patients, they want you to take that 1,000 milligrams in a day, and some take it in increments, and some, raw dog it like Mr. Rizzo in here and just take the one and deal with it. Now,
How do you-
some have built tolerance for that,
Yeah.
and some keep it in those small increments. But like I could see building tolerance for that because you're taking 1,000 milligrams of RSO, right? And that shit is devastating in one shot. But the other stuff, like, why build tolerance for it? You know, like keep it to where that like you could take moderate doses that would affect you as if you took a big dose, as opposed to like building your tolerance all the fucking way up to where now you got to take like an eighth or a quarter ounce of mushrooms to get to where you want to go on the milk.
That's kind of chasing the high.
That's chasing the high, and it's
Exactly
like
what that is.
yeah, that's not the healing part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine taking a quarter
Sometimes we're
ounce
not-
of mushrooms.
Sometimes
Right?
we don't do drugs to heal, bro.
It's true.
Yeah,
This is
like
a good point.
Not like not every drug is meant for you to heal.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes these recreational activities are for you to do recreational things. You know,
And recreation is healing.
like I've never known anybody to do a bump and be like, "Damn, I feel so much better about my trauma."
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
But people do more
Like-
bumps after that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're satisfied with that bump. An hour later, that might be knocking another one down. Why? Because I'm already past this bump. I do so much coke that little 2 lines ain't shit to me.
step it up.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
That is interesting though. That's interesting, healing versus recreation.
Yes.
And like recreation is healing technically. So almost like even if you're unconsciously just recreational about it, you're kind of getting the adventure, right? Like
Yeah.
your mind is literally changing.
I think when you're young, you don't think about that shit. When you're in your 20s, or like young, late teens going into your 20s and all
Yeah.
through your 20s, you might not give a fuck about none of that, and you're not like worried about
Agreed.
tolerance. You're just doing.
Well, I think
It's only till you get to your like 30s and 40s
Yeah.
where you're thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't take as much.
Yeah.
I think that
I mean-
I think you bring up a very good point because I feel like your I guess your teens to your 20s and all the way to your 30s, you
Yeah.
know, early 30s, it's like you can do drugs for fun.
Yeah.
And then like after that, like you start doing them for like healing because you realize like, you know, all the stuff that you've been bottling under the, you know, like I guess under the surface
Yeah.
starts to come up just on some scientific psychological shit. Like it
Yes.
will, if you don't deal with shit, like if you
Yeah.
suppress emotions, it'll
Comes
come out
out
like
later, yeah.
it'll come out like Tourette's as the older you get, and you're just
Wow.
like, why the fuck am I so angry? Why the fuck am I? It's like, oh damn, I never worked through this.
It's like a fucking volcano.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
yeah. So
you were dormant for so long, but at some point you might snap if you're holding all this shit in. That's why it's important to talk to people.
Yes.
You know, not just lean on some of these healing herbs and medicines and shit like that. It's also good to talk with people because
Yes.
you cannot hold shit in so long and not have a conversation, because that is the part of that makes you snap, just holding that shit in and not being able to like put it out into the world and get over it.
Because not all like 30 and 40-year-old fools like want to be like, oh damn, I heard about this ketamine treatment. Let me go ahead and try it. Some fools have healed by themselves, or they got it out of them system like differently. So
You gotta be careful with that ketamine shit. I mean, look what happened with Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt, like for sure. Like as somebody who is new to it and just has dabbled with it, like
The doctor and the ketamine
it's
queen.
It's way different from from a lollipop form from like
Hey.
what you get in the medical kit. I'll tell you that.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, how about the doctor and the one they call the ketamine queen? They are assed out right now. They're both claiming they're not guilty, and of course they're going to. But they got texts on them from the doctor to the so-called ketamine queen of the valley or wherever she's from, where it says, we could make a lot of money off this dumbass or something like that. Rest in peace to, you know, they were like charging him like 10 times over of what he, you know, really could have got it for. And at that, they weren't supposed to be giving him like a fucking caseload of this
That's
shit,
the new
you know what I'm
scam,
saying?
dude. It's happening, and Kanye West dentists better like be kind of weary about this because that's another person that was doing the same thing. The more they keep leaking out these messages where him and his doctor, he's like, yo, bring the nitrous. If he wasn't buying the nitrous himself, if somebody that was a medical, I guess, practitioner was providing it for them,
They
like
would have been fucked.
that he is gonna be fucked because he was signing off on, because especially medical grade. Medical grade is like the top tier, bro. Like that shit is counted for. Sneaking a tank or two a month from the supplier, but not at the rate Kanye was getting it. So best believe there's a case being built up on this. So like that's the whole thing with like these Hollywood doctors, bro. They'll like now that's the move. They'll get to you and they'll be like, all right, this is this person's candy of choice. Let me get it, a legal version of it, and just keep getting into it because they were charging Kanye, I think, what was it, like $50,000 a month, bro? We used to get the tanks filled up for like If it's medical grade, maybe like 500 for a 20-pounder. Because I'm telling you, because we did it.
I think that's what they charged Matthew Perry for something that would have cost him like $200. Some shit like
Wild.
Yeah, ketamine is not even that expensive for the way that he was getting it.
They were bumping his head like hard. Rest in peace.
That's too bad.
And let's shift gears real quick. I want to congratulate you because you're going on tour with my bro, our bro, the Alchemist. Right?
No, it's actually just I called the tour the Alchemist.
Oh, the Alchemist tour. Oh.
You know, but he's incredible.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see you guys working together.
Yes, call me Alchemist.
Yeah.
The Alchemist is such a powerful name.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it's
is,
such a powerful concept. This last project I put out, it was like 7 songs, just like boom, boom, boom. The process of healing from trauma, which is funny because you mentioned that. And I was like, yeah, everybody kind of goes through the same thing, even if you come from a walk of life where it wouldn't seem that traumatizing.
Yeah.
Like they have their own nuances. And so I was like, damn, this is a universal. And to be an alchemist is to literally take something like trauma and turn it into gold.
Work magic.
Yes. Some wizard shit.
Weave the magic through the wizardry.
Yes.
And this starts in October.
Yeah, we're like, okay, so Halloween. Of course, we're gonna do a big bash at the Novo. I thought wasn't Cypress Hill at Novo last year?
Yeah, I think we're at we were there last year.
So iconic because they were bragging about it. They're like, you need to like bring it because last year was crazy. So we're gonna try to bring it.
I know you're gonna bring it.
It should be fun. We're gonna build out like in the VIP area, like a little spooky walkthrough.
Yeah.
And there's only a few tickets left actually. So
let's look at them cities again. I mean, this is a nice.
This tour is intimidating me right now. Like,
nah, you got this.
I'm like, damn, the red ones are almost sold out.
Oh, nice. You're playing Terminal 5.
Cute.
That's a dope venue.
I heard it's a really good vibe.
Yes.
So it'll be fun.
We've played a lot of these places right here. You're gonna have some fun, and you're gonna flip these places.
Whoa, we got a bus, we got a truck. I've never done this before.
So this is your first bus tour?
It's not my first bus tour, but now I have like production and we got a little projector thing and a storyline.
So who's all on stage beside you? Like, do you have a band? Do you have dancers?
I mean, one of my favorite performers is Tyler, the Creator, and it's just him. He's just there. And it's like some kind of creative. Was it Coachella? He was like a park ranger.
Yeah.
He exploded out of a.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
I was like, what the fuck?
Are you gonna have a set like you know how some people have it? I feel like, are you gonna perform on like the set of Beetlejuice?
So it's a one-woman show, but I have people assisting me and like changing the sets and like this is just the creative just started last week. So today we were literally importing like Foley sounds. Do you know what Foley is? It's like what they used to do for sound effects in cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like it's all very like clever in that it's inspired by Tyler, the Creator, pretty much. Just theater, but like hip hop.
Yeah.
And then witchy, like all of my bitches are it's very goddess energy. Like I always say it's the girls, the gays, and the theys. Yeah. It's everyone, but like my core audience, they come like with this intention to like conjure like the next version of themselves. So very, very fun.
That's dope. I hope we're in town because I want to see it.
Oh man, if you're free Halloween, I got you. We'll VIP it up.
I think we're playing at the Fonda or something.
I was going to say, you're probably booked.
Yeah, we're playing at the Fonda. Is it the Fonda?
Yeah, that's iconic.
Are we doing the Fonda or the Novo?
No, we're not doing Novo. That was last year. Yeah, it's the Fonda. We're doing 2 nights.
2 nights. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, wait, 2 nights. I'm going to try to get to one.
Yeah.
I got Oakland the next day, I think, but.
I got to see it.
Yeah, there it is. 2 nights.
Yeah.
Le Fonda.
Oh, my God.
Le Fonda.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever played there before.
I haven't.
Yeah.
That's a big place. That's like a good vibe, I heard.
Yeah, that's off of what, the 101 or somewhere?
Yeah, right off like the 101.
All right. Now I know what we're doing for Halloween.
Yes.
I'm never sure. I don't look at the schedules like that.
That's nice.
Just, let's go.
Do you have your costume picked out?
We're currently talking about this.
We're talking about costumes and everything, mulling things over. But I'm thinking that we are going to dress up this year.
We're going to do something.
Last year we didn't dress up,
I tried to get these guys several years ago because our Halloween shows started in New York. We were doing like annual shows in New York because we broke in New York before we did anything here. So we have this like this love affair with New York.
That's
so
cool.
We launched our Halloween shows there, and we did like for 22 years in a row.
Holy
Halloween
shit.
shows there. We started getting fans on this side, like, hey, you guys are from Cali. How about bringing the Halloween shows here?
Bring it.
So we started bringing them here. But when we were in New York, and it's been some time before since we've thrown any of those shows out there. But when we talked about costumes there, I was trying to get these guys to do the Catholic priest thing.
Oh, I love that.
This is when we had like a band with us. So, I thought it would be hilarious for us to come out as Catholic priests. We probably would have got shit on by some people, but we didn't give a fuck. We never do.
That's hard as fuck, I think.
But I thought it would be dope. I'd come out in a cardinal uniform and they'd come out as priests and we'd just like be doing some dumb shit up there.
Sickening. I think it's amazing.
One of these times.
Yes.
Excellent.
No, I don't know, Bobo. What do you think?
I'm definitely into. I would have done it.
I'd say let's come out as some insane asylum patients, but you couldn't play the drums with a straight jacket on. That would not work.
All the straps swinging around.
They could.
That would be funny.
They could dolly me out, and I'll just have Pedro like wheeling me around, and I'll be like
on a stretcher,
strapped in.
Just put a webcam on it.
It would be hard for me to do that, to deliver the verses, because I feel like I gotta move.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like in videos sometimes?
Don't put me on a stretcher. I can't perform on a stretcher.
when you do videos sometimes, right, and the director has a certain vision.
Yes.
Right.
Oh man.
And he or she may be telling you, okay, we need you to deliver the verse, but stay completely still.
Oh.
This is like a certain look, so we need you to stay composed still. That's the hardest shit for me because I feel like I gotta move. Do you have you ever been in that?
Be Real has like an eye twitch. He's like, where does the energy go?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because he's very animated on stage.
Yes. Oh, I was gonna ask you. This is a little off topic, but like, where did you discover this voice? Like your voice when you begin to rap is like nothing I've ever heard.
It was inspired by a rapper and artist, but like a traditional graffiti artist and artist. His name was Ramel Z.
Okay.
He goes, he's old school New York artist, and he rapped in two different voices. He rapped in a very thick, heavy voice, like the one I'm speaking in, but a little bit deeper, like this type of shit. And then he had his other voice where he would just switch up in the middle of the verse and go to a high-pitched type of voice. And when we were doing our first demos, my writing was good, but this voice that I was rapping in now was not cutting through with nothing I was writing.
Crazy.
And Muggs said to me specifically, you need to come up with something with your voice. You're going to write verses for Send Dog. So I thought, let me try Ramel Z.
Oh.
And it stuck. I thought they weren't going to like it. But he ended up liking it, and we ended up going with it. And I had to develop it as I was doing it and learn how to do it live, because that was the hardest part.
Yes.
Is figuring it out live. And I had to go to this lady named Elizabeth Sabine, who was like she was an opera singer formerly, and now a teacher for vocalists out there. And I had to go to her to like learn how to like project the voice without like throwing it out, without yelling and sounding all raspy. Like Bobo knows.
Yeah,
like
and getting worn out.
Our first 5 years, my vocals were rough.
And he was yelling.
Yeah, I was yelling.
Of his lung.
What?
I couldn't get control of it because, our adrenaline, when you're green and shit, your adrenaline might take you over and you forget about everything you rehearsed and all that. So it took me to go and do about a year with this lady, certain techniques and stuff like that. And then I got it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Then I finally, had like harnessed it live. Like studio work, I could get it, but it was like doing it live that was the hardest. Now I got it, and I don't have too many problems because I follow what she taught me way back.
And how many years you been on stage now?
32.
Shit.
Right. 32, 33.
Shit.
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little wedding band gig when I was in like 17. So for me, it's been over 20.
Yeah.
And I just tell all these newbies, like I have a lot of creative folks that want to be artists or are artists who follow me, and they're like, how do you get your confidence for stage? Because it is like you have to like make peace with the energy in the room and like the spirits, and like then you have to be aware of your own energy and like how far is it reaching, and are you closing off, or are you And it's like, damn, yeah, it takes decades.
Yeah, it takes some time to
Be
learn
patient.
Because I remember in the first shows, like I had trouble looking at the crowd. You know what I mean? I'd be looking down because it was kind of intimidating.
You don't know these people.
Yeah, you go from doing
It's
you go from doing a
scary.
room of a couple hundred people to now you're doing like a room, and then maybe a festival. It's like, oh shit,
It's scary.
and you have to embrace it
Yeah.
because if you don't, it's going to intimidate you and tear you down, and you're never going to be at your best because you're intimidated by that shit. You kind of just got to get over it and own the fucking moment and like embrace it and become one with it, because if not, again, you know, like that's a part that breaks some really good artists. Like oh shit, I never thought I'd be in this position. What do I do now?
Do you still get nervous going on?
No.
At all?
No. I know.
Ready to go?
Yeah. It's weird.
No, not really. That's
There
good.
was a switch that happened. Is somewhere in college, in my college years, I want to say. And I was just like, why do I give a fuck? Like you were saying, like you don't want to go home later and be like, oh, I was nervous and it killed my performance. Like, no, I like, what did he say in the Outcast video? He was like, I didn't come all the way over here in a middle seat. I was like, I didn't go through this whole crazy journey of becoming an artist to now. So you have to reach that fuck it stage.
Yeah, you do.
So that you're like, oh, I'm here, motherfucker. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, because your nerves could get the best of you. You might overthink it before you go out there and fuck something up, and then you're shitting on yourself after that.
Yeah. You own it. You own the stage. When it's your time, you own it.
Yeah.
And you have to apply yourself like that.
Yeah.
And you can't control how they take it. You can only control how you give it.
Yes.
You know, and if you give it your all, you know, that's it. There it is.
Performing in front of crowds who don't fuck with you is the best practice.
Right.
Too.
You got to win them over.
You got to be awkward. You got to see what that feeling is and show yourself that I can do this no matter what room I'm in.
Exactly.
And you cannot let that break you as well.
Right.
Because sometimes that's going to build you up, like knowing that, okay, they may not be moving, but they're watching and they're not rolling away and they're not booing yet. You know what I mean? So if you can hold them, even if they're not doing anything, just power through it and deliver and like be you, and who gives a fuck? Because chances are you might not have gotten the reaction that you wanted, but you might have won some motherfuckers over in there if you just do the gig and, like, you know, give people a chance to process what you're presenting to them. Because if they don't know you, yeah, it's like a process thing. Like, all right, who are they about? What are they about? Let's see. And inside, they might be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But they might not be moving crazy, but they might research your shit right after that.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to be seen and discovered, you know, and show them what you got.
That's the only
is.
that's one of the cool things about the technology of today, right? Like, you might be at a show and the artist that comes up, you might not know who they are, and they blow you away.
Yes.
You're, oh, Qveen Herby. All right, let me see. Boom. Oh shit. Okay, here's all her shit.
Oh,
Boom.
I
And
got
then-
100 songs to listen to on the way home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's everything right there. I mean, it's easy to rock the people that fuck with you because they're excited to see you. It's the ones that don't necessarily, they may not know who you are, or they might be on the fence. Those are the ones you really want to.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all something.
Yeah.
How long do you stay on stage if they boo you?
Ooh.
If you want to punish them the whole way. But if you're in your feelings, you might get out there, you know, halfway through the set and be like, fuck it. I don't know. It depends. Because some people will be punk rock and be like, fuck you. I don't care. I'm delivering I got paid to do this.
Period.
Right.
Or this is promo and you're going to you're going to hear it no matter what. Or you could be the one that let it breaks you. As long as they're not throwing shit, who gives a fuck if they're booing?
That's such punk energy.
Yeah.
I was watching a punk documentary and they were like, oh yeah, it all started, you know, in the UK and everybody was screaming at us, oh, you suck, you can't play the guitar. And he goes, so?
Yeah, exactly.
That's punk. Like,
Yeah.
such a punk. I've only been booed one time and it was at the night at the Apollo.
Oh man.
And that was like heartbreaking. I was like, 14 or some shit. But hey, I got to go. I got to like rub the stump and I got to be experience that. But I will never forget. And it made me feel better to hear that like some legendary people got booed
Oh yeah.
off those stages. But that was hard.
yeah.
That was my first experience with
Plenty of legends got booed off that stage, but they, like yourself, they didn't let it break them.
Right.
And it just made them work harder.
It's a it's a yucky feeling.
It is an ugly feeling.
Yeah.
There's two feelings that you don't ever want to have as an artist. Is the booze on stage and the crickets.
Oh.
Yeah, crickets are not
Crickets sometimes are worse than the booze.
Yeah, good point.
Because those people are indifferent. They don't give a fuck. Like, okay, cool. Now get the fuck off and let's see the next guys.
That might be worse, actually.
It is
crickets,
worse.
right?
Oh, man. Oh, so like Bobo and I, we tell this story a lot. Not a lot, but we've told it. We were going to Puerto Rico to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award as Latinos in hip hop and blah, blah, blah. And our greedy ass manager at the time, I won't say her name,
Crickets.
Miss Wright.
Oh.
She thought we could get a bag from this. We'll have you perform. You'll get the award and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, all right, whatever. We don't really want to do that, but I mean, if you could work it out, cool. And so she worked it out. And we get there, and immediately I'm hearing nothing but reggaeton popping through the whole thing. There ain't no hip hop happening throughout this venue. And the DJ is just rolling with the reggaeton, and people are like jumping, they're like partying, Puerto Rican, like thousands of Puerto Rican people partying like motherfucker to the reggaeton, right? So we get up to do our thing, and we're rocking, and we try to put like the hardest set together. We didn't think about a party set. We were like very dark, so the set was dark as fuck. Mm-hmm. And all the people, with the exception of maybe 1,000 that were way in the back that you could barely see.
Oh, no.
Everybody was just kind of standing like this. Okay. And then we played one or two Spanish songs, and they were like this a little bit.
Oh, no.
And then after that, when we went back to the ending part of the set, they were just like this. And when we went off and they gave us the award, they're like, ah. And then when the fucking the reggaeton DJ kicked back in, vamos, boom, boom, boom. Everybody was up again. It was like, oh my God. I looked at our manager like, see, I fucking told you that was not a good idea.
Man, sometimes you just don't know.
The crazy thing was like ending out insane. We're insane in the brain. We're hitting them with the heaters.
The heater, the biggest song.
Yes.
Biggest songs.
Yes.
We just got an award. Biggest songs. And at the end, I think we're going crazy. It was like this.
Oh.
For our 1,000 fans in the back that came out of the 20,000.
It was
Shout
scattered. They were scattered all around the stadium.
Scattered.
But this was a stadium. So we had fans out there.
Yeah.
But they were all over the place, scattered.
Now, they weren't booing, but that indifference and that, like, the low-ass energy, that affected me. I was, like, pissed off at our manager for some time because I told her, I said, that's not the right moment for our shit. Let's just get the award.
Damn.
And that's what we should have done.
That's what we should have did. On the things that we should have did.
Oh.
The list.
Yeah.
The list grows.
It was important for us to feel that moment, I think.
Yeah.
I think we needed to be humbled at that point because we were too much in a non-give-a-fuck state at that point. Sometimes you got to...
Funny how success, like, makes you soft.
You got to, yeah.
Success and money kind of like... I already noticed I'm, like, less inspired. I'm like, fuck this. I need to, like, live my life and experience things and continue. That's why I think the witchy spiritual stuff's helped me because I'm like, oh, there's so much shit that's unexplored here that I can get nerdy about.
And you think that's because you're like, I'll use the term, less hungry now?
Well, just literally, yes, right?
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, having money and, like, stability and security. And then you start to, like, they say, like, actually billionaires, like, have part of their cortex missing or some shit because having that much, and I'm not saying I'm a billionaire by any stretch, but it's like your brain changes. Your priorities change. Your problems, like, increase, but it's like, what are you really worried about?
Yeah.
So the perspective thing is...
Well, a lot of things change. Your address changes. Your phone number changes.
Your friends.
A lot of change.
Yeah.
A lot of change. And did that happen with you? Like, you know, as
I would say now after 20 years of this, yeah, I'm like, wow, I got to stay. You know, I had to switch my whole shit up. My whole character changed, and I had to grow bigger balls because I was like, well, am I really being honest with Amy? Like, Amy she wants to express her music this way, and she wants to curse and smoke weed and whatever. Like, it continues to open if you go in.
Yeah.
But it is easy to just get like complacent and get your big old house, you know, in Tarzana and just chill.
I think it's this. Some people call it, you know, losing the hunger for it, right? And it's really the passion. It's really the passion because it's the passion of it is what you do it for. Like, if you could make a living from it, that's great. But most people that are artists get into it because they love being artists. They want to be creative and whatnot. When you lose that part,
yes,
when it's no longer a passion, it doesn't matter how hungry you are, whether you have money or not, right? Because some people, like, say when let's just say boxers, for instance, when they hit the pinnacle of boxing and they're you know, they got the world title and shit like that, they want for nothing at this point. They've made the money and blah blah blah, and people start questioning their their hunger. Are you still hungry for it to be the champ? And it's really not about the hunger. It's about, do you still have the passion to have this and compete?
Yeah, the loss of passion affects the work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
the output. You know, you could tell, like, when artists are like a 3-album run or something like that, and all of a sudden the next 2 albums, you know, they start to kind of dip.
We see it so many times.
And it's like something's going on. The success might be a lot, or they might be lost within their whole persona, you know what I mean? Whatever it is.
within themselves.
Right. You know what I mean? So it happens. But I think if you keep with the passion, you're always going to be able to deliver a good product from yourself.
Well, look, The Star is Born, right? You look, and I would imagine that all 3 stories are similar, but in the one that Chris Christopherson made with Barbra Streisand, right? The dude was complacent. He was tired of the shit. He got tired of the everyday, same ass routine, and he lost passion for doing it, right? And then here she comes, and she's got this energy, and she's got the passion that he lost, and things start happening for her, and it didn't re-spark his passion. You know, it sort of like put resentment that she was getting run and he wasn't.
Woo.
But the whole thing is that he got tired of it and he lost what he loved about it, and she kind of reignited it a little bit, but then he started resenting because all the attention was going to her, and he was kind of like in the fucking background. But and that's a very real thing that happens to artists. Some people go through that shit, especially I think when you're on a pop star level, because you know, you don't have the same sort of privacy as you used to have.
Yeah.
Even in comparison to a mainstream artist, to a pop artist, a mainstream artist could kind of get out there. They might get recognized, and you know, there might be a scene. But a pop star,
they can't move.
They can barely move.
Nope.
And you know,
that's scary.
And sometimes that part of it makes people lose their passion for it.
I could see why.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got to be strong. You got to have layers to do this shit.
Yeah. No, I see that in like the pop stars we have today. I'm like, oh no, you were made for this.
Yeah.
You know, but I hear stories of other ones that are like, they just want to do this other thing, but they're not allowed to, or now there's too many programs and expectations, and with money and success comes like, you have this new lifestyle. Like, wasn't Cardi B saying it was like $300K a month at one point? That was her just her regular like zero out level. Yeah. Like that's just to get by. That's like not with buying shit or crazy.
300,000.
300K a month.
What is your spending habits?
Where is it going, right?
Where's it going?
Yes. And what is driving you, I guess? If we're losing passion after you get to a certain point, it's like, well, what's driving you? Sometimes you got to switch the gasoline that you're running your motor with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I used to really want, you know, cars and bitches and money, but now it's like, well, what if I want to like discover who I am, and then I start realizing how dope I am and how that just keeps going like a well. I got to tell these people. I want everybody to know.
Yeah.
That's possible.
And you think that's evolution as an artist? kind of as you grow as an artist, you know, that it could evolve like that?
I think so. Like the artists that I grew up admiring, like they all sort of had to pivot at one point. Like it was no longer, it's funny, I got this perfect, like in my 20s, I signed to L.A. Reid and I did this whole thing with Carmen, which was the Busta Rhymes cover.
Yeah.
And I just learned, it was almost like if you put it on paper, it's like I learned everything I needed to learn. And then I like sort of graduated into this next version. And in a world where you can be independent and do so, that's wild.
Yeah.
As a woman from Nebraska, like having a hip hop career, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really a great privilege to be an artist today.
Yeah. A lot of artists sort of take that for granted too.
Sure.
You know, like it's like an art form that people love and scrutinize like a motherfucker. And there are some of the young artists, they don't give a fuck about it. They're just like, whatever, I'm getting my bag. And that's the important thing to them.
That's their gasoline.
Yeah, and once they get the bag, they kind of just go away.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're not necessarily passionate about the music as much as it's about getting the bag.
Interesting. Yeah.
Whereas there's artists who have never gotten the big bag, but they want to just keep putting out music because it's something they love to do. And if they can get the bag somewhere or, you know, now and then, great. Yeah. But it's more about the passion of, you know, putting out the art, right? Of course you want to win and be successful and get bags and shit like that. Yeah. But I would say a lot of the new generation are just driven towards that more than they are the art. And I think even, you know, we've had discussions about record labels looking at that and saying, well, you know, we can get a bag from this artist. Their image and their presentation is good. They may not be that great at the art.
Sure.
But they have something. You know, and they sort of perpetuate that style of our art form right now, is that they'll get someone, they just want to get paid. They don't care about what they're putting out there as long as it's the means to the ends.
Yeah, it is very different than it used to be, I guess.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get in a studio.
Yeah.
When I was little, like, you couldn't just call up a studio. You had to know somebody.
You had to know somebody.
Before that,
and then have a budget.
Yeah.
To be in that studio.
Thousands of dollars a day.
Yeah. Now, you could do that shit at home.
Now there's so much more to sell as an individual artist, I believe. Like B's referring to, I think, like with popularity on Instagram. Oh, they have huge followings. You know, we can work that angle.
Yeah.
Sometimes it overshadows the talent altogether.
I would agree.
Especially today, I've seen that. You know, it may not be the greatest talent, but I can see that talent in other ways, you know, as showmen, as characters, dance, whatever other little twist they can do to it, you know, maybe they can play off of that.
Yeah.
So I feel that there's a lot more where before you needed to be a talent.
Sure.
True that. Who are you listening to these days? Is there anybody you're listening to on your radar that you're getting down with?
I am a weirdo through and through, if you didn't already know. If you didn't already know, I'm a weirdo through and through.
We saw your socks. We saw
your socks.
We saw the socks.
We saw your socks. I found this Peruvian singer the other night called Ima Sumac. And she was wild, y'all. Yep. She was so gorgeous and exotic and magical, mystical woman. And she had a 5-octave range. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's so cool and so beautiful. And yes.
She was very
wow,
famous.
look at her.
She was very famous.
Wow. What an elegant lady.
Your mom used to have her records?
Yes. She was a big fan of Ima Sumac.
I love your mom for this. Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom.
I wish my mom listened. I'm kidding. No, we had you grow up and listen to what you listen to, I guess. But I did get Beatles in my house, which was cool.
Good.
That was good. So listen to Ima. Then I went down like a tiki rabbit hole because I was like, what the fuck is tiki exactly? This lounge 60s stuff. So I'm on the market for vibes right now. I don't really need.
Right.
I've already studied, my favorite rappers, but I would love to hear who y'all are listening to.
Who are some of your favorite rappers?
Favorite rappers are going to be Lil Wayne.
Okay. You got bars. Salute to Wayne.
Got bars. I mean, Drake's got bars.
He does.
Wow. Incredible.
He does have bars.
I really fucked with Doja Cat's last album.
Yeah.
The whole
Yes.
deluxe Claude, I was like, whoa, this is not getting the flowers it should.
She don't get enough flowers.
I
it.
She don't get enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
really, like, there's only a few albums from the last 20 years that I like put on more than once.
Right, Shirley? She don't get enough flowers, right, Shirley?
That's right. I remember the. I remember
Oh
the
no,
debate.
is it a debate?
There was a debate.
Oh shit. But that's what I love about hip hop is like everybody's got a voice they resonate with.
Yeah.
And I love different rappers for different reasons. There's like, I mean, obviously I grew up on Lauryn Hill. She only gave us that one album and like changed the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some incredible shit. Eminem obviously had a huge impact on me.
Yeah.
Cypress
sick
Hill,
with it.
like, okay, like.
Did you listen to his last album?
Eminem?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's killing it.
Still.
Bars.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
And I've been to one of his concerts. I mean, there is nothing more hype. Like, it was like I left the planet.
Oh, they love some Marshall, boy. They go to one of them Eminem shows and
You know who you remind me of? And I got to say it out loud, and it's a compliment. You kind of remembered as like a Cyndi Lauper type thing. A little bit of, the
chaos.
Yes, and the outfits and the fashion and the little punk attitude and all that.
Yes.
You're kind of like, you have an old soul kind of her.
I love that. She's incredible.
It's a compliment.
She's a bad bitch.
that's that
Definitely.
spiritual side.
Yes.
Whoa. I was watching this like We Are the World.
Yeah.
That thing, they did a whole documentary
Yeah.
on it. And Cyndi Lauper's in there. I mean, it's crazy, y'all. Prince didn't show up.
he
It was
didn't
Michael
show up.
Jackson, Stevie Wonder. And you're watching these people in their youth.
Yeah.
You're watching Stevie like he was fucking around.
they're
Like
at
he
their-
was playing jokes on people.
Yeah, they're all at their peak at this point.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Well,
Bruce
some of 'em.
Springsteen and then there was what's his name? Bob Dylan
Bob Dylan.
was like nervous and
Yeah.
shit. And Stevie Wonder was coaching him.
That was the trip
was-
to see Bob Dylan like in there like puzzled, like what the fuck do I do?
It
and then
was-
Stevie work it out for him. That was the genius of Stevie Wonder that he could imitate other artists' voice, and he shows Bob Dylan the range that he should be in.
And Bob was like not hearing it from anybody else.
Yeah,
He was like only Stevie. He was like, Stevie, help. It was sick.
yeah, that was good.
And Cyndi Lauper was there, and that's why I appreciate you saying that, because she just had her crazy hair, and she was like, "What time are we eating dinner?" She's this very
A very free spirit,
yes,
and she's still doing it big, man. Salute to the legendary Cyndi Lauper.
salute.
Definitely.
Where was I going to go from here? Oh, yeah. We got a mix show after this. Make sure you check it out. DJ FM's going to be popping it off on the ones and twos right here on Be Real TV. Well, on Be Real TV, too, our other YouTube channel where the mixes pop off. If you're watching on Twitch, Be_Real TV is also a place you could watch it. Or if you're a member of the home site, www.bereal.tv, you could pop it off there. Check out the community features, the exclusive content, merch, and all the what have yous. And, we appreciate each and every one of y'all getting down with us right about now. Real quick, did you know it is the birthday of Ronald LaPred, bassist from the Commodores, was born on this day in 1946.
All right.
Hey, cheers.
Happy birthday.
Cheers, Ronald. Did I say that right? Is it LaPred or LaPred? Could be very French.
I'd go with LaPred.
LaPred.
Yes.
For French.
LaPred.
LaPred.
Well, it's called French, like you do the Portuguese. You know what I mean?
What?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's
You don't even know how to say her last name. All right. Did you know? I don't even know how to say this lady's last name. Kim Thagil, guitarist from... Oh, it's Kim. Sorry. Kim from Soundgarden was born on this day.
happy birthday.
1960. Happy birthday, Kim. One of the baddest motherfuckers playing guitar, man. I loved Soundgarden.
Yeah.
They were the shit. Bad Motorfinger, one of the best albums, terms of metal, rock, whatever you want to say. That shit is it right there. Did you know it is also the birthday of Karmit Bashar from the Pussycat Dolls, was born on this day, 1974.
Hamid.
Happy birthday. to
Bashar.
you.
I think I said it right. It's either with a sha or a cha.
Bashar.
Sha or cha.
Always go with the more like fancy French way.
Yes,
Or is it
always.
Bashar.
When in doubt,
Or is it
When in doubt.
baha?
botcher.
Yeah,
Don't say
yeah.
botcher.
Yeah,
No.
don't Midwest it.
Don't Midwest.
Hey, Botcher.
No, don't do
Hey,
that.
Miss Batcher, come on over.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh my God, I feel so at home. Thanks.
Hey, we're Southwest. We're right here with you.
Oh, thanks.
Did you know It is also the birthday of the legendary Mark Ronson, born on this day in
Ooh.
1975. Salute, Mark.
He's pretty talented.
That's Mark right there.
That guy right there.
And did you know? Fuck that up. Fuck that right on up. It is the birthday of another queen, the legendary Queen Bee, Beyonce. Happy birthday!
What?
Born on this day in 1981.
Let's
Wow.
All right, Queen Bee.
We got a queen on, and it's a queen's birthday.
All the single ladies.
We doubling up.
Like, I wonder what Beyonce does for his birthday. Like, what's Jay-Z get her for her birthday tonight?
Some
Like,
cake.
The
That's
thing
my
is,
question.
the thing is, what hasn't he got her?
Right. I mean,
That
like,
he can get her.
Right.
Like, when do you run out of ideas? You better be a creative
No.
You can't walk.
person.
He goes to Baskin Robbins and gets her an ice cream cake, and then they just eat the cake
Yeah.
in the bed. That's like
Is this a story you heard or you're guessing?
I'm guessing totally.
Okay.
guessing.
Oh, it's very
That's a good
accurate.
question.
I believe you.
But just to get something, I want something simple tonight.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
can
go-
see that.
And then he goes to get something like an ice cream cake.
Because you can get tired of the Birkin bags.
I mean,
and that.
because well, look, what's
Give me some ketamine.
how could he take her shopping when she makes a fuckload of money too? It's like she got all those
Dude.
bags based off of what she's bought herself. So like, what could he do?
Right.
I mean, he can't.
He got to do some special shit. Like, hun, we're jumping on the jet right now. We're gonna go. We're taking a trip to Bali, and then we're skipping off to Greece.
See, I think
And
just
blah
the
blah.
opposite.
It has to be some shit like that.
No,
right?
I think the opposite. I'm thinking it's more like,
simple.
I'm going to cook you dinner tonight.
Nah, I don't see that.
I think simple. Hey B, money's kind of tight.
What?
So I figured.
So simple.
Money's kind of tight.
So I figured.
Money's got. Hey, Bobo, talk to me about this money's kind of tight shit. I mean, we're talking about
That ain't
one of the
gonna work.
biggest power couples.
That ain't gonna
around.
work. That ain't gonna work.
That ain't gonna work. Hey,
Birthday
hun.
on a budget.
Is it-
Hey,
you
hun,
know-
I haven't been on tour in a long
babe,
time.
Man, I've been out of work. You know what I mean? they ain't been booking me. Money's kind of tight. I went to Baskin Robbins, though. I was thinking about you.
Nah, he just. Hey, listen.
No.
That's
he
so
just,
sweet.
He just makes a call to Chef Ramsay real quick. Hey, I need you to make dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Me and Queen Bee. I don't know.
Wild.
I couldn't even assume, because the level that they're on is on the pretty fucking massive one.
Yes. I wonder what that's like to be in that mindset.
And his birthday, what do you give him?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two prolific, people in the music industry.
Give him a flashback and give him a bowl of his favorite cereal. when
Oh
he's gone.
shit!
It's got to be nostalgia.
Here's some sardines. Remember these?
Remember
With the
these?
crackers?
Remember that?
This is so you never go back.
Take him to Walmart.
Yeah, always
These-
singing about the old puff coats. Get him a puff coat.
Get him a bomber jacket.
I mean, they could do everything else. You know what I mean? Let's take it back. Let's take it way back.
I'm gonna get you a bomber jacket from the Compton swap meet.
Dude, I might be wrong about this, but the Kardashians, they 1 year for Kris Jenner, they rented their childhood home and restaged it exactly like it was when they grew up. And I was like,
That's money
that would
right
make me
there.
cry. I don't care how much money you have. That's wild.
Yeah,
It is.
that is wild, and that is very open of the people who own the
Right.
the
How much-
property at the time. Like they must have paid
How
him
much?
a big bag
to
for
empty
that.
their shit out of there.
Yeah.
And just, whoa.
Imagine the pitch to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, would you be open to
The intern.
us
The intern Jared is like, hey.
stripping the whole house? We're gonna pay you a handsome fee for this.
Yes.
Mom, there's
It's
somebody
like-
at the door named Kim Kardashian. She wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
About renting the house.
I don't believe it was Kim. It was no, it's for her mother, right?
Yeah, I think the girls did
Oh
it
yeah,
for
the
her.
girls probably did
Yeah.
it. Damn, that's
That's cute, right?
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty thoughtful.
But
Yeah.
you know what? You might as well have gone all the way.
Okay.
Like they stay in the rooms like they were when they were kids. She would have to be cooking breakfast or some dinner and something like that. No maids, no anything like
Role play. Got a role
Yes.
play.
Role
Role
play.
play.
Where are you gonna have a
That's
maid in that
commitment,
house?
bro.
that. No man. That's what I'm saying. No maids. She had to be cooking. Let's take it way back. Original style.
For nostalgia though, bro, like that's commitment right there, bro.
That is
Oh,
commitment.
It would be.
Yes.
Like just as like, hey, bro, this wasn't enough. I was getting the replica. You know what I'm saying?
Time, you got time. You got
Like,
time
damn, bitch,
travel.
I gotta fucking cook too. You
Yeah,
know,
gotta-
like
yeah, well, get your favorite dish.
Let's just drive by the house and be
yeah,
like,
you
hey,
know,
Yeah,
like,
like, love you, mom.
remember when we
Yeah.
used to live here?
Yeah.
All right, let's
fuck,
go.
ain't shit changed.
That was my
Why do we
room
gotta
up
go
there.
inside, bro? Like,
I went to Baskin Robbins though.
Yes,
got-
see, there you go.
Some people don't want to see where they used to live. You know what I mean? Some people want to
true.
disconnect from that shit because
It's kind of intense. Have you gone back to your childhood home?
You know, I moved around a lot as a kid, so I didn't have any like one home in particular. But there are a couple of houses that I lived in that I remember as a kid. Every now and then, I've driven by them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would imagine some folks they don't want to go back to their, you know, those digs because maybe they had problems with mother or father or just the
both.
situation of the struggle.
Yeah.
Maybe the memories ain't so good there.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe it's like you remember everybody's played GTA.
Yeah.
You know that first home where you start off, you never go back and save the game right there. Once you like elevated to like the third city, you know what I'm
The
saying?
Jacksons did.
You don't go back.
The
bro.
Jacksons did. The
Like-
Jacksons' house in Indiana that they all grew up in, it's preserved right there. They let you know that it's the Jacksons' house.
That's right.
It's in a shitty part though. Like,
Damn.
well, it's not that it's a shitty part. It's that the state let this city like fall off, and it's in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good people down there. They just don't have much because the state forgot about them.
Damn.
But they still have the Jackson House up.
That's iconic.
Yeah, it's like a monument to them.
Yeah.
I believe this is it right here.
Wow. I think they did this with Walt Disney's house too.
It
Yeah,
sucks
they
that
do.
it says just it's the home of Michael
I
Jackson
know.
and not the Jacksons. But yes,
Right.
he's gone, and rest in peace.
Man, it's
I
like
can't believe it. I kind
Michael
of
Jackson
block
and
it out of
them.
my mind.
and the other Jacksons.
It looks nice. They're keeping it nice.
Michael and the other Jacksons.
Michael and the other Jacksons lived here.
Michael and
That's ice cold.
All the others.
That's
Oh,
ice cold marketing, right?
That is ice cold right
It
there.
is. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it is. I agree.
Yeah, that's not very considerate, is
You
it?
know,
Yeah.
Marlon probably looked at
Marlon's like,
yo,
I live there too,
Come
man.
on, man.
Oh, who moonwalked,
Jackie too. Like I grew up there too.
What the fuck?
And somebody might tell Jackie, nah, man, you grew up in L.A. Be quiet. I don't know. No, Jackie grew up in Indiana.
He was the
It was
only
the
one
youngest Jackson. What was his name? Is it Randy?
Randy's the
Randy.
youngest.
Randy was the youngest. He might have been the last one born in Indiana. Yeah, could be. I don't know. Salute to the Jacksons.
Legendary. Woo.
Legendary. Know what I'm saying?
Have y'all been to Graceland, the Elvis spot?
I
Elvis
have
house?
I
never
want to
been to
go there so
Graceland.
Me neither.
I want to go.
Go.
Others have gone and told me it was cool,
Okay.
but like I've not been.
Last time we were out there, Sen went to. He went out.
Yeah, he went.
He went. Checked
Oh,
it
that's
out.
sick.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Went to see the Kang. The Kang.
The King.
Word up.
Oh, you never told me what rappers you're listening to.
Oh, what rappers I'm listening
You
to?
owe me an answer.
Oh, yes, I do. As of late,
Yes.
or it was music, right?
Music.
Or rappers.
Yeah. Yeah, either one.
As
actually.
of late, I don't know. I've been listening to the Yotes, or the Coyotes for Hire. This kid named Lord Sco. In terms of hip hop music, and then there's a lot of other hip hop music I've been listening to, but them specific. And then in terms of other music, I always listen to different shit. Like when I leave here, I'm listening to classical music.
Yes, I was going to say that for you. I love
Mostly-
that.
Yeah, mostly like either Mozart or Beethoven.
Woo. Have you
Something.
gotten into Debussy?
Yeah.
Or
A little
as we
bit of
like
it.
to call Debussy?
Debussy. Yeah, no, a little bit of all of them, but the favorite is Mozart because the way his shit is very colorful. Like
Yeah.
Beethoven's really dark.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's dark and aggressive. Most of his work is dark and aggressive. Mozart played a little bit more with colors, so I fuck with that.
You know, I listen to a lot in terms of like modern classical, which I feel like John Williams, who is like, I feel like he's
dope.
Mozart today.
Yeah.
And like nobody's
for
given
sure.
him those kind of flowers. He has flowers, but not those kind because it's like, what?
He
You
should
do
have those
92-year-old
flowers.
man who,
Yeah.
but you could just sing like, da da.
Yep.
You already, like, that's a hit. You could be like, da 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 da. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a hit. Like, this
Yeah.
dude gave us all these number ones.
Yeah. In our time, he's like that guy.
He's Mozart.
I
Yeah.
mean, he was definitely a big fan. On YouTube, they have this thing that they have the artists that influenced John Williams, and you can hear like some of the Jaws theme.
Yeah.
There is another composer, old school, way before him, using that kind of cadence. So he's a big fan, and he uses a lot of
You could hear it.
you can hear it.
Danny Elfman's another one.
Yes.
Too.
Ooh.
You can hear the influence, and
But John Williams, yeah. I mean, he's put so many songs in our head in movies that like it's like a countless amount.
Insane.
yeah,
Yeah. Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah, even yours.
Harry Potter.
Your generation.
No, I mean, I think that makes your music timeless when it gets into the right placement, or it did. I don't know about now. I don't feel like movies don't have that same impact.
I agree.
Like, I feel like even like my generation, like I look back, I'm like, I prefer to watch like some 90s movies
Yeah.
over some of the shit that comes out. And I go to the movies avidly. So
Hey, soundtrack and score is everything.
It is.
sometimes that makes the movie.
Yeah, it could either
Yup.
propel a movie or it
Yeah.
could like dump a movie.
if it wasn't for certain movies, like I want to say like at least I'm speaking for myself, I wouldn't look into other certain music. Like for example, like I was talking to Ray about this off air. I like quoting that movie Little Nicky a lot because it's one of my favorite movies. But I would have never like looked into like, oh man, who sang the song they're listening to in Hell? And I was like, oh damn, this is AC/DC too, or because they obviously they sing the Highway to Hell, but there's other songs as well. They have like Cypress Hill's in there too, and I'm watching this when I'm younger, but that was the intro to it, and because of the placement of those records in those films, I want to say I developed like that taste in or appreciation for all this kind of music.
Soundtracks are very important.
Yes.
Growing up, soundtrack.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you have bangers on there of different genres all in one.
Yeah.
The Space Jam
That's-
soundtrack.
Yeah, for
Get the
sure.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And Lil Nicky one still had the Deftones in it too. And then I'm just like, damn, man. I was like, I love that movie, from the kid. And then I'm like, now I see these two guys on there on a daily basis.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of great soundtracks in the 90s, boy.
Yes.
Like there was so many good ones.
Yes.
Like the one joint Tupac did Juice, but the other one too, Above the Rim, is it?
Yes.
That was a dope soundtrack
Yeah,
too. That
Woo.
had so many dope artists on that shit.
Yeah. Wow. I think syncs, like as an artist too, as a creative person, if you get a sync in a movie, it changes your career.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
If
The
you're in a
Friday
pivot,
soundtrack.
especially if it's in a pivotal scene.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And the music works for that particular scene. Boom. That's the launch right there.
People just emotionally latch on forever.
Yep.
It wasn't that the big launch of Killer Man B? And
Killer Man on Juice and Rock Superstar on Training Day.
Yes.
Like they were in two specific moments, and that like helped propel the song for sure. And that's the key though. Like if you have the whoever's putting together the score and then in the soundtrack, man, it's all on the line. There's a lot of pressure there, but kudos to the motherfuckers that do it right, because there's been some amazing soundtracks out there.
So inspired.
The Friday soundtrack is dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to Edward Scissorhands yesterday. That one's crazy. I mean, it's Christmas. It's like starts playing, and you're like, it's a haunted Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Salute to the soundtracks. There's not as many good ones as there used to be out there.
I agree.
Bullshit out there right now.
All right, kids coming up in the game. We need you to get into
Yeah, y'all
film
need.
scoring and soundtracks.
We need.
But it comes. I think it
Whoa.
comes back full circle to what B said. Today's artists are doing it more for the bag than as compared to some of the music that some of these songs that were being placed on there. Some of these artists were really hungry. They were like dead broke. This was all or nothing for them, and that's the vibe that was captured when those albums or those records were recorded. As compared to now, when you'll have like somebody that's young, they'll be like, "Listen, do your song in this melody. You have a look. You have this. Go ahead and run it, and then we'll get you placement here." And they're not looking at to like, "Hey, bro, is this fool really singing his heart out, or is this fool really like pouring it all on the line, or is this just been curated?" And you know, what is it, or manufactured for them to fit into like an algorithm and have it go.
Well,
some of these soundtracks, great movie, timeless music, that has nothing to do in that film. Great movie, but the music is irrelevant.
I mean, that's a great point, and you said something in there that speaks to why shit is right now with some of these artists. Right, is that there's so many options to get a bag in different places other than just the music. So the music that used to be at the forefront of their passion, this is like, oh man, I'm out for this, right? That sort of gets pushed to the side because I could get the bag for doing content over here where I'm acting outrageous, and hopefully that'll, you know, have people gravitate to the music, and that doesn't always happen. Because some people follow you just for the crazy shit you're doing. They don't give two shits about your music or the content you're posting.
Yeah.
But if you're making a bag over here that's, you know, significant enough that it's distracting you from, you know, what your passion was, they're not leaning on the music as heavy. And you're just, that's sort of secondary now.
True.
And then if you got another opportunity over here for something that's like, not even content related, but it's like, you know, just something where you can get another bag and shit like this, and now your passion is getting pushed down the line. Even
you're
further.
spreading yourself pretty thin now.
Like, okay, so
sad.
I'm getting a bag to go to do this meet and greet or this event over here or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know, pushing the music and shit like that.
Yeah.
These are the distractions that a lot of artists have today, where it's like, oh, well, I'm getting more money doing this shit over here because of my name and all that shit. So, you know, the music's just the side thing now. It's the side piece. It's the extra. It's not the main piece. All this other shit is the main piece because I'm getting more money over here than I am over here.
That's so interesting.
So I ain't taking this as serious as I am doing my content over here.
And the only way to get back to your music, which is your passion, is to like stop doing the content shit for a minute.
Right.
But then you're afraid you're going to lose the bag.
Right. Right. And this is like, it's not all of them. You know, it's not all the artists. Obviously, there are some really dope young artists out there like doing it right, and they got the passion and they're out there working on it. It's the other ones who get in and they're not taking it as serious. So when they do have a show, they go up there and they're not prepared. They don't know their verses. They're sort of hyping up their verses as opposed to like actually delivering it.
They're late.
They're late. They don't know how to present the show.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're going through the motions because okay, well, this is just another bag, and they're not taking the music that serious. I'm just gonna go get this bag real quick and then go back to doing this shit over here. And you see it more often than not that some of these artists are not prepared for those moments because they're too busy doing other shit to take this serious enough to go rehearse, learn your song, and present it.
Yeah. I relate to that heavy. And you see artists who also just like pivot into acting.
Yeah.
Or pivot into, you know, owning a business or something, which is also, you know, do you. Like you this is your journey. Nobody can tell you. And sometimes we get amazing actors from that too, that transition out of music. And so
yeah, I mean,
you can't really fuck it up. It's just interesting how that happens.
I mean, sometimes it's never a late time to discover a new passion or to rekindle a passion that you haven't developed yet.
No, it's never too late.
You know, it's never too late. So these people that kind of transition and it seems smooth, it's because they had something. They had something there.
Yeah.
You know, to begin with.
I mean, when other doors open, you have to be able to juggle it and manage it. You know what I mean? And if you can't, there's one that's going to, you know, sort of fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
And that you sacrifice. And if that's the main passion, if that's the shit that got you through the door.
Dude, it takes balls.
Yeah.
I remember too when I was known as Carmen and switching over to Qveen Herby. We already had millions of followers, you know, radio, songs. And even people on my team at the time were like, this is the worst decision you've ever made.
Huh.
You know, to pivot, even staying in music, just like switching up my identity and my vibe and the story and like my mission and all that shit.
It was safer to stay.
Yeah, they were like, you're going to delete all the work you did, you know? So scary.
Yeah. I mean, you have to take a chance on yourself, though.
Big balls.
Yeah. I mean, look, artists reinvent themselves all the time. So, you know, like Busta Rhymes, for instance, he's constantly reinventing himself, like through every album cycle.
Yeah.
You rarely see him stay the same.
Yeah.
It's like he's almost like a pop star where he's like giving you a different vibe, different look every time, investing into that, no matter what you might think about it. And, you know, people take notice to that because, like, he could fucking dial it in and, like, just come up there in a T-shirt and jeans and, you know, put on a show. But no, he's like, he still got a passion for it in spite of the years, in spite of the success.
Yeah.
And the levels he's been on. He wants to give you a presentation that you never saw before.
Yeah.
And that's because he's still passionate about that. That's not an artist going through the motions. And he can actually still deliver it.
Yes. I saw it. It was,
Yeah.
I cried. It was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of my favorites of, you know, a lot of hip hop artists. He's one of my favorites.
Excellent
Always
choice.
been. And you know, just showing you just all that to say that, like, he's been doing it a long time and had to compete with some of these young artists.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just tell the difference in the professionalism and who's taking it serious and who's not. After all this time, he still loves it enough to be like caring about the way that people perceive the show and what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And how it's going to take impact as opposed to just dialing it in.
I see that in Missy Elliott too.
Yeah.
They both collaborate with young upcoming artists.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Snoop also.
Got to be willing to do that. Yeah.
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 It's this, as you were saying, describing this, I was like, oh, I get this feeling of like, as an artist, what you want to do is just like, as you're aging into it and getting through your news cycles, you're kind of just like easing into it too.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever is naturally popping for you, like go there,
Yep.
do that. Like, does it feel good? Great, do that. And you kind of just eventually you're like, oh, now you're a legend.
Got to embrace it.
Yes.
Go with the flow. Except if it's fucking with your integrity in any sort of way. That's when you got to sort of pump the brakes and consider something.
Integrity is a word.
Yes.
That is a word.
Yes, it is.
Not everybody has it.
I would like to add that to the vocabulary of humankind.
Integrity.
Integrity. We could just shorten it like we did with the last names. Just
Integrity.
tag.
That's what they call it in South Park. Integrity. Oh, shit.
That's so good.
All right. We're going to open up the doors to the Insane Asylum. That means y'all got a comment, question, shout out, suggestion. We want to hear it. But before you do that, smash those likes if you haven't yet. If you haven't subscribed, tell your friends to subscribe and watch the show. Share this shit out, you know, because it's the Dr. Greenthumb Show. We do it Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the start, 5 Eastern. And we invite everybody, you know what I'm saying? So let them know. And let's open it up.
It's the best vibe.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Insane Asylum.
All right, let's do this. We got a Desk 208 up in here. You guys were kind of talking about performing like for the first time in front of people. He's asking, is it easier performing in front of your friends or in front of random people?
Man,
Probably random people.
random people, because I think your friends will be even more nervous first time out, thinking what they would think or what their opinion is going to be. If, you know, they might be blunt and says, "Yo, man, you're whack." You know what I mean? And you mean I know how to take that.
Or if they're honest, they could just say, hey, it needs work.
Right.
Constructive.
Right.
Constructive criticism.
It's
You're
constructive.
whack.
needs work.
Chris.
It's constructive and then it's straight blunt. Like, yo,
Well, there are those that will give it to you straight
Yep.
and frank like that and be like, yo, B, that shit was whack. And then there's the others be like, yo, it needs work.
You could,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a way to tell you if it's bad or not. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes fools need to hear
Yes,
bad.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need to hear it straight like that. Like, I've never encountered that person yet. Well, actually, I have. but I was very polite in how I told this person, like, hey, needs work.
Oh.
Like just
like, because I didn't want to break them. This is something they love, so it's not like, because you can do it if you put the work in.
Yes.
And it just takes time.
But be like, at the same time, if you're gonna be asking somebody or putting somebody in that position, you have to understand that it's very much like gambling. It's 50-50. You're asking for that person's input in what you're presenting in front of them. So you can't get mad or feel some type of way if that person don't fuck with it.
Yeah, but yes, no, you're absolutely right. But it's on how you deliver that information to the person that's asking you this opinion, because based on what you say, you could either break their spirit and they'll never make music again. And who knows, they might have been very talented, just hadn't tapped into it yet, because it takes time to develop.
You're not going to be like, yo, this is crap. Be like, hey, man, I know that, like the acoustic sounds great, but it's just not my cup of tea. Keep doing your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but by me letting you know it's not my cup of tea, it shouldn't be discouraging. It's just like, hey, bro, I'm just not your demographic.
Yeah.
And I hope you can take that criticism and maybe you make something one day. I'll give it another shot, and maybe then that sound is for me.
The only way I would tell a person their shit sucked is if, like, I told them politely first, like, hey, need some work. What do you mean? Fuck you.
Oh.
No, what do you know? Blah, blah, blah.
They would never say
right?
that.
No, I'm just saying. Then I would say, well, to be quite honest, your shit sucked.
Oh, shit.
That would be the only way that I would tell a person like that. Like, if they didn't take the constructive criticism or the way that I said it, like the polite form, and they got mad and like started throwing arrows at me, I'd have to be like, quite frankly, then you know what? Let me rip the Band-Aid off for you and say, you suck.
I
love you, but
I think it only works in a subjective lane, because like music and art and that, it's subjective. It's what, if one person thinks sucks, the other guy might think it's the greatest thing in the world. But what I'm getting at is, like, if you have a kid who's going to be a ball player who sucks at a baseball player, your son is not going to become a major league ball player.
Facts.
He needs to be told that.
Yeah. What about the people that you say, all right, man, keep on working at it. Then you see them again. They hand you another demo.
Well,
all right. Then they say, okay, keep working at it.
Well,
after about 4 times, you got to say,
Here's the thing, right? If that kid is with a good teacher of the particular skill set that you're trying to get your kid to learn, and after that certain time that kid don't get it, it's probably time to, like, maybe pull him and try something else. Not give up on the kid because maybe they got talent somewhere else.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Throw the whole
You know what I
kid
mean?
away.
No. What I'm saying is, like, sometimes, you got fathers that, like, look at their kid like, I want you to be playing football. And if they can't play football, they dismiss them. Or maybe it's baseball, or maybe it's basketball, or maybe it's some other random shit. And sometimes the disconnect happens there because the father gets burnt out that the son doesn't want to do or can or doesn't have the ability to do that.
Son.
You know what I mean? And they sort of disconnect and then have no engagement in pushing their kid in any direction after that. Well, I played football as a kid, and I was an All-American, and I would expect my son would be able to do the same thing. He don't want to play football, then I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that happens. That happens.
You know what I mean? But, like, what I'm saying is, you can't give up on them just because they don't have that particular skill set. Keep looking and seeing. Maybe it's in arts.
Right.
Maybe it's not a physical nature that their talent lies in. There's plenty of uncoordinated people that can't dance and shit like that, but they're hella creative. They can do other things that they're skilled at, and that's with anybody. You just have to put that time in. And a lot of people don't. They give up easy.
You got to be able to stand the haters. Like, haters create friction, right? And that friction is like the same thing I felt this morning when I was cutting a verse. And I was, like, working with my guy who records me, and I was just like, I was getting angry. Like, the friction that you feel, like, of that fear of yourself just being a failure. Right? You're worried about, this is a great question, performing in front of your friends versus strangers. It's like, even your friends can be haters.
Yeah.
And you need to build this tolerance to that, because even within yourself, when you're, like, trying to outdo you the last verse or the last take, it's like, it's painful.
Yeah.
but you have this. You got to just build this resilience.
Yeah, I mean, that the skin you fucking build up from doing any sort of art form, because it's always under scrutiny, whether it's actual art that you're putting up on canvas or someone's body or music that someone's listening to. It's all subjective. So some might hate it, some might love it, but
Continue.
Yeah. If it's in you, continue.
Yes.
Boom.
That's what she said? Oh.
That's what she said.
Clever.
That was
Cute.
good. I would have thought it would have came from one of you guys.
Hey.
I would too.
Don't worry, I'm here for you.
And he
I can
told
be
us
here.
to be on our best P's and Q's.
You can
'cause
add
we
me
had
as a
a
co-host,
lovely
it's
young lady
fine.
coming in
Yes.
today.
I love it.
All right.
Ask a Bum is saying daily affirmations help a lot with personal healing. The only thing is you have to develop your own instead of using the ones on the internet. He's saying, you can start using cliche affirmations, but you should slowly develop ones of your own just for you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Does anybody else put up like signs around their house, or is that just me? I'll like with the Sharpies, like write down, like right now, integrity's on my wall, and just hang it up so you can see it.
No, but
No,
I have a
that's just you.
notepad. I have a notepad that, I kind of like jot down those kind of ideas or.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Same here. I'll put them in my notes.
It's important to write it down.
Yeah.
Your planner has a section for that. That's where I put mine at.
Oh, that's what that section's for.
I never used it for that.
No, that's like, cause like after every week, well, at least my planner does. Then there's like, hey, did you meet your goals this week? Like, or like,
It's reminding you.
It's better to write it as opposed to using a planner on your iPad. Or
I meant like a
your-
physical planner. Like,
Yeah, I'm talking about like
That's what I have.
I'm saying I just think it's better to actually write it down. You commit to it more.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As opposed
It's in your head. You embed it in your head as you write it down, as opposed to like jotting it down.
jotting it down or putting it onto your iPad or your little notepad.
Yes,
And
I agree. I'm still like so old fashioned. Got books
Yeah.
on journals all over the house.
Still write checks.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
What is wrong with us?
I like writing checks.
That's all right.
It feels good. It's like
Keep
this
writing.
is my money, and now I'm giving it to you.
Keep writing. Half these kids, you can't understand
write
their
a
writing.
check?
They can't write shit. these days.
No. Being a writer too. I mean, not just writing checks. I mean, you if you're a great writer, you can just write checks eventually. But being a writer is also a whole journey.
Yeah.
So writing it down is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's therapy too.
We got Cruz in here asking or saying, Queen, could you give my friend Denise a shout out? She put me onto your music. We were bumping your music hard in El Salvador last week. We love you.
Well, all right. Look at that.
Damn, El Salvador.
El
Salvador.
El Salvador.
Babes. Wait, who is the shout out for? I just like blacked out my brain.
Denise.
Denise. Okay, hi Denise. It's me, Qveen Herby, your bestie. Babes, El Salvador. Do I need to come visit?
Sounds like
Woo, 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 woo.
It's a tourist destination now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's no longer one of the most dangerous places in South America.
they cleaned it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
They put a lot of the gangsters over there in that prison over there, that maximum prison they got down there.
Oh,
and I think
no.
they extradited some of them to the States too.
Oh.
Some of them were like out there putting in work, and they're like, "Hey, this is your criminal." So
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
Well,
But
they're
hey, it's
bumping
better
Qveen
that it's
Herby. That's cool.
It's great that it's safe there now, because now they go see your show when you
Let's
get down there. You know what I'm saying?
go. Well, nice to meet y'all. Thank you for supporting.
Next, we got Diggy saying, Yo, Queen, do you fuck with King ISO? He's from Omaha, and he's one of the dopest rappers in the game.
King ISO. Have you heard of King ISO? Yet?
I haven't.
Well, let's go Nebraska. Okay, I'll be writing that in my phone. Thank you.
All right.
Why don't I know this
We're
person?
going to check him out. He got his samurai sword and everything.
King ISO, you got dedicated fans, and I love this. Okay, yeah, I need to know him.
We're actually coming to Omaha in the next few weeks, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh.
We got a symphony gig down there.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
And performing with the Omaha Symphony Orchestra.
That is so sick.
Steelhouse.
We were just talking about classical, so now it's like you just
Oh, yeah.
fused that together perfectly.
Been
The-
doing that.
the symphony is a company gig.
Say what?
The symphony is a company gig.
What do you mean?
That's a Cypress Hill gig, yeah.
No, but you said you're going out there for a company gig.
No, it's
Oh.
for that gig.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
No, it's just an orchestra. The orchestra show, like the one we just did in with the LSO.
That's so iconic.
Yeah, it was fun. Different
Wow.
experience than what we normally do, but
Yes.
it was awesome. It was great to have all that instrumentation in the back and know that it was all like organic. Nothing
Real.
was track. There was no track at all. Like Bobo played the drums. We had our boy Christian Oldie Wolbers playing stand-up bass and the orchestra. It was awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely saw clips of this.
Yeah.
And it melted my face.
Oh, thank you.
Yo. Okay,
We
how many
tried.
more do we get? Are you going to keep doing these?
Yeah. I mean, it became a thing. We meant to
Yes.
do. We meant to do 2.
It's a
Right.
thing.
We meant to do 2, which was the first one that came up in San Diego, and then the one we just did in England with the LSO, because that was the granddaddy. That's the one
There it is.
we wanted to make happen. But when promoters heard we were doing this form of show,
Yeah.
they started making offers for this particular
We
style.
look like the new edition.
Yep.
Yes.
That's San Diego right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool it now.
Ooh, watch out.
That's hot. That is so hot. Oh my God, I love this for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was-
congratulations. That's a thing.
Yeah,
Like you
it's-
made a thing.
Yeah, it was cool. We actually recorded and filmed it, and it should come out, I think, sometime next year.
Sendog looks like
Sick.
like he's running for like a Cuban politician with
Yup.
like with his thumbs up. and
Vote
stuff.
for me.
And like, if you just zoom in on that one right there,
Yes.
Vote for me, por favor.
You have my vote. You get it. That is
does,
so
right?
iconic. That is so inspiring, y'all.
He's very presidential there.
Yes.
Yeah.
vote for
Except-
mayor of Downey.
Except
Donuts for everyone.
donuts for everyone, y'all.
This is where you screenshot it and then put it on your phone and make a meme and post it, right?
Yep.
That's the next step.
That's where all the Cubans are, right, Downey?
Yeah.
yeah, for
A
sure.
lot of Cubans are in Downey, yeah.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
All right.
All right, Juxta saying, Bobo, we need some Halloween movies pretty soon. There's a bunch of good Halloween-themed B movies.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that all month long in October. B Movie Night Halloween edition.
How'd it go last night? Did
Oh,
C
man.
minus jump in? Did
Yeah,
he
he
stay
did.
for more than 20 minutes?
Was he smoking a cig?
Yeah. He stayed in there for longer than his usual minutes.
All right.
Which is great. Colton was up in there. It was great, man. Good turnout. It was. What was the name of the movie? Auntie
Lee's Meat Pies.
Lee's Meat Pies.
Auntie Lee's meat pies.
Right. With starring.
Oh, my God.
Starring Karen Black. Karen Black is an OG actress that was
I remember the name.
all kinds of B movies, and also Mr. Miyagi himself.
Oh, really? Mr. Pat Morita was in
Yeah,
this, huh?
yeah, and he was with
Tilly's
the
meat
most southern accent
What?
ever. He was like really with the draw up. in
Look at
there.
homie's name, Lex Lang. Hi,
Wow.
I'm Lex Lang.
And let me ask you this, Bobo.
I was in meat pies.
Did it meet all of the qualifications? Murder, gore, sex, drugs, all of those?
He wouldn't
Oh.
play it if it
It
didn't
did.
have any.
Oh.
It did all of that.
All right.
It did all of that. Everything was great.
Mandatory checklist of these films that he
So
put
let me ask you: you watched this before you put it up. How long ago did you see that movie before you put it up?
Oh man, I usually take a few days before I actually.
So you want to analyze it?
I analyze it. Sometimes when I feel I've had enough, I'm like 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, I was all right. Then I wait and I watch the movie with everybody else to see what.
Oh, so you don't even watch the whole movie?
It depends. It depends.
Giving me that shit last week.
No, you didn't watch anything of that movie.
No, that movie I did not.
That's
I
right.
swear to God, I did not.
Hey, Colton, how was the movie? You watched it? How was
So
that?
yesterday, Steph Tone, Ray, Dom, and C minus, we all stayed down there in the studio and we were kind of watching it. I thought it was pretty good. I saw myself as one of those guys that would get their car stuck because I'd be that gullible guy with a hot chick like, oh, hey, come out to our house. You can hang out here while we get the tow truck, and then they just slaughter those people. Like, that would happen to me probably. Like, I would be one of those guys. I'd be so gullible. They had so many good-looking women in that movie, too. It was crazy.
That's
He'd
where the
get
budget
distracted
went.
by the hot chicks.
Yeah.
Huh? All right.
Girl same, girl same.
Yeah, so it's all good. B movie night every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock.
All right.
See you there.
See you there.
Host with the most.
Yes.
Word up. All right.
Shane is saying, I remember Carmen, and I remember when the Busta cover came out. Seeing a white girl killing that Busta verse was everything. Props to Qveen, and forward to looking to see your work in the future.
Wow, thank you, Shane. That means a lot that you've been riding with me this whole time. It's been like 12 years, and that feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
Since that happened.
People have taken notice to the work you put in, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
And Trip Out is saying, yo, shout out to Qveen. She's up in the house. And Kale is asking, Qveen, who's your favorite gangster female rap artist?
Oh, wow, gangster. Okay. I mean, can I just do favorite female rapper?
Yeah.
Bring it.
I have to say Missy Elliott.
You know who was a dope female rapper who was considered gangster?
Yeah.
It was the Boss. She was dope.
Oh.
She recently passed.
She recently passed. Rest in peace.
Oh,
but
wow.
like when you look at her style, she was very gangster in comparison to a lot of females that were out, a lot of the girls that were out at that time.
Yeah.
And even her look. And I think she went to a private school. She wasn't really a gangster, but the look and like the way she was spitting was all there.
Iconic. Yeah, I'll have to check her out.
Yeah.
And we got E up in here asking, be real. You remember when you came out as a cop at one of the smokeouts? That was genius.
I do remember. There was one that came out like straight away as a cop, and then there was one where I did half the set, you know, as me, and then we did a bit like cops came off and pulled me off stage for lighting a joint, which was not real.
Wasn't that the bit was for like the song Pigs or something?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and then I came back out with them as a cop. Entertainment. My hair was braided right here. I think I eventually take this hat off.
Do you remember every show?
Not every show.
I'm
but
that girl like, wait, did we do Chicago? Yes. You know?
I can remember a lot of them. I can't remember every single one. So some of them are blurry. I mean, mushrooms and acid and things like this. But oddly enough,
like
I could
performing on any of those things?
We did.
Oh,
many times.
Great.
Sometimes it was very cool, and sometimes it was, like,
not
oh,
cool.
Shit. It's like,
existential crisis.
Can I actually finish this show?
Oh no.
Nah, we always managed to do it, and no one, ever like said to us, dude, what was up with you guys? Like, you guys were
Isn't that funny?
tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no one ever said nothing to us, so I figured we pulled it off.
Yes. Wild.
Yeah, it was wild times. All right.
All right, when you guys were talking about mushrooms, Adam is saying E-Zone likes the storm, not a breeze.
A storm, not the breeze. You like the storm, not the breeze.
I
do not like the storm with psychedelics. Like that's why I microdose everything when it comes to psychedelics now.
Yeah, now
I do not
everybody's
like doing the
microdose.
full.
Before he was macro melt until it caught up.
He was in there, man.
Well, there was sharks in the water.
Yeah, well, hey, good that
You got to learn,
Yeah.
came to a realization.
We got C Cubed asking, be real. Have you guys had currency in the smoke box?
Yes, we have. Believe we had him twice. Yeah, salute to Currency. We got to get him down here at the table, though.
And we got Mozart up in here from the dead saying, I'm the one who gave Ice-T the idea for colors.
Oh.
Nice.
Mozart.
I see Mozart. I see you.
I see. Dun, 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 dun.
And the last one I see so far is JJ asking, yo, Trace, you still running?
It's funny you say that. I was going to go yesterday. Thought about going, but then it was just too hot. But no.
Yeah, it was, 14 out there, right?
It was 114 yesterday in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, Vegas.
Yeah, I live out in Vegas, and it's scorching.
You're wearing a sweater out here, bro, and it's hot out here, too.
Well, no, he's wearing it in here.
Yeah, not out there.
Yeah.
And then tonight we're going to go ride, and I heard out in the valley, it's like 106 out there where we're going.
Yep.
But it's going to dip, though.
At night.
Yeah.
LA nights driving around with the windows down, listening to your shit
Yeah.
is the best way to like make creative decisions.
Absolutely.
It's so stunning. Even when it's hot, it's like, oh yeah, can't beat that.
And why do we got to go 22 miles tonight?
Dude, you...
That's a lot. I'm not training for the Olympics once again. It's like 20. Can we just do this 10 to 15 mile thing?
It's an easy ride.
22 miles.
You did it
It's
last
a serious
time.
commitment.
It is
It's a serious commitment.
You did it last time. You did. Look,
Are you a biker?
No.
Or
See? And yet he bought like 3 new bikes.
what?
And
Yeah,
not
I
a
mean-
biker.
Can I borrow them actually?
You can go with us tonight to 22 miles. Get ready.
Oh God.
No,
my butt.
look, eggs. Think about it like this. You did 3 ride sessions at 27 miles, 22 and 22.
Okay.
You've done them 3 times already.
Right.
Were you struggling?
Not that I was struggling.
Were you breathing heavy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
See, my idea,
Come on.
Queen, what I want to do is I want to ride to go get tacos. I want to go ride to get ice cream.
Yes.
What?
That's what I want to do.
I'm in that zone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you a Taurus?
No,
What's your sign?
Pisces.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
But these guys right here,
Yeah.
unbelievable pace.
Nonstop.
You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like,
Oh man.
We're going to slow it down for you
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
It's all flat. There's no hills. So it's going to be an easy 22-mile ride.
you going, Bobo?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Are you-
You going?
Nah, I got some work stuff I'm backed up with.
Yeah, he's backed up, son.
He's
don't worry
backed
about
up.
don't worry about his own. He's backed up. He's going to be with us next week.
All right.
You just worry about the
That's the only
22 miles that we're going to do today.
No,
Are-
Trace,
are you-
is Pedro going?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
wanting
you're not
to
gonna
make
be
a-
last, Trace.
What's that?
Oh,
Still gonna be hot though.
Are you gonna want to
It's
stop?
gonna be like 92.
You wanna
it'll
stop?
be a little warm.
It might
You want
be,
to
yeah.
stop for ice cream?
Yeah, can we do that?
Yes, we're going to stop for ice cream.
All right, I'm in.
Soft serve.
Oh, thanks.
sir.
Now you're talking. Now,
How about you? Do you like the scoop or soft serve?
I worked at Dairy Queen, so don't talk to me about scoops.
Thank you. Soft
I need the
serve.
machine with
Yes.
the. They said it's like one ingredient away from styrofoam. That's my shit.
I'll take that.
Put it in the cone. Dip it in the chocolate stuff.
I like the soft serve. too.
Yeah.
He knows how to get me on the ride. See that?
Soft side.
That we'll
Yeah.
go get soft
Well,
serve.
that's
All right. I'm
Is
in.
that like mile 11, or do you split it, or
Yeah,
how?
yeah, we
okay.
split it.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure there's a Menchie's like somewhere.
Yeah, once we get to about 11 miles, then we'll stop. Sometimes we'll stop before that, but like most times we'll try, like at least our group will get the half of the ride done, make the break, and then go back.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
And occasional smoke break. Like if we decide halfway, like, oh, nice place to stop and smoke.
Yeah.
We'll stop
Yeah,
and smoke.
that's
The
sweet.
random,
Yeah.
hey, let's stop here.
That's what I would be.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do that. And I'm really concerned with the ice cream too. I'm like, have you been to Little Damage? That
No, I
place
haven't been to that.
downtown? They got
No.
black ice cream. It's like
I gotta
charcoal
check that
infused.
out.
Okay, good. So now we have a smoke break and ice cream at least.
Boom. Yeah. Like so, we do a few different types of rides. There's a Monday ride with another group that they ride aggressive. That's the advanced ride.
They're the ones like showing off.
They're the ones that like pedal fast as fuck,
Ah.
and you got to keep up. And some of them, yeah, they jump
Up a
off
fucking
shit,
hill.
do things like this.
Sure.
And we're going up hills and all that shit. So like that's the advanced ride. So like we made this ride a little bit more mellow for the ones who haven't had as much pedal time. They don't necessarily ride fast
Yeah.
and go up hills.
Not doing stunts
They want to go like 2 blocks and then get off the bike.
and get ice cream.
Trace.
All right, so Trace,
Ice cream.
basically, you're bringing this up. You've done 3 rides, right?
All at 20 some odd miles.
What did your body tell you the next day?
Oh, I was
Everything?
fine. I was
feeling
fine.
So what are you complaining about?
Problem.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, so you want me to completely full-blown bitch? Okay. Not only do I have to go on that ride, I have to drive back to
Oh
Las
my
Vegas.
God.
Oh.
I get home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my
Yo,
God.
That's a lot.
While these guys are all curled up in bed thinking about pancakes in an hour or two, I'm just pulling in the driveway.
You
on
wanted
your
to
side
ride.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm a
Nothing beats
soldier.
that feeling, you
I'm a
know?
no, I feel great. The next day that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Couple of ibuprofen and a hot shower when I get home. I'm good.
Yeah.
You want to stay the night and then cook breakfast the next morning?
Yeah.
Bring a sleeping
Come
bag.
on, dog. I'll bring the eggs.
Oh, so now we're gonna have an impromptu
Now we're having
breakfast
omelets?
club at Bobo's house.
We could do it. Come on,
Bobo will bring the turkey bacon.
let's do it.
I'll bring the egg whites.
Oh, see, you guys, turkey bacon and egg whites. It's ruined already.
Oh no! I need to bring Dunkin' Donuts. That's what I
Thank
need to do.
you.
Let's
Thank
breakfast
you.
sandwich,
Yes.
sausage, egg, and cheese, bitch.
Costco
Croissant.
size syrup.
A Coke with ice.
Yes. And 2 shots of tequila.
There you go. There you go.
All right, I decided to get that out of my system.
All right, cool. You good?
I feel better.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right.
I'm ready.
Your calves feeling okay?
I'm ready.
All right. We ain't hitting no hills. Don't worry
Thank
about it. All right. You got anything else?
No, that seems to be it.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for getting down with us today on the Dr. Greenthumb Show. We want to thank Qveen Herby for coming in. First of many times. Got to have you back. You got any shout-outs you want to give?
I mean, shout out to my team, Team Queen, all my babes who are listening, all my goddesses. I will see you on tour. And
Yes.
thank you for having me. Like, this is such an honor to sit with y'all and hang and be in your world. Like, it's such a great vibe here. I know everybody watching is like, what's it going to be like? What's it like in my DMs? I'm like, this is the best vibe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And, it's been great having you here.
Thank you.
Eric Bobo.
All right. Catch me on the socials on X at Eric Bobo, on IG at Eric_Bobo. Also on Discord, Insane Asylum and Bobo's Corner. Big ups to everybody here at the table. Thank you, Queen, for coming on through. It was a pleasure. To all the people that tuned in for B-Movie Night, thank y'all very much. We had a nice crowd, like 20 plus up in there, talking mad-ish. Big ups to the Treehouse crew, Discord mods, everyone that supports the show, and Snacks and I, we say, buddy.
Bolton.
Yo, shout the Insane Asylum, shout to Ray Morning Shot Film, shout to the Dominator, and also Ghost Boogie 666. He's going to be having on his B-Boys Underground, he's going to be having Mellow Man Ace at 6 o'clock tonight.
Nice.
So check out that. That's going to be right after the mix, so check out Mellow Man Ace on B-Boys Underground. What's up, Trace?
Big shout out to everybody sitting around the table today. Queen, thanks for coming in. Nice meeting you. Everybody, the Treehouse crew, everybody out in the front studios here at Be Real TV. Thank you very much. Everybody on the socials as well. Give me a follow at Trace Nunes, Nunes. I heard you laugh. E-Zone.
Salute to everybody for tuning in. Salute to you, Queen, for pulling up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in the morning for the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast. We're not going to be podcasting tomorrow. We're going to be at a Horror Nights. So, whoever's going to be there, we'll see you there, too. But, yeah, we'll make sure you guys pull up on We Don't Smoke the Same. We'll be there. It's opening night.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. Swallow that.
Don't be afraid.
Sounded like you said don't be afraid.
BeReal.tv